Okay, welcome to Blackberry Ridge. It's Vivian Ann on the side of the mountain in northeast Tennessee. We're out here in the garden. Of course, Tick's over here. Tick's wanting to be part of the action over here. I made a big mistake. And this is the first year that I have done this. And I have realized that it was a big mistake. And I think y'all can learn from my mistake. I'm to the point right now where there's not too much that I can do about it. But come on, baby. Meow. But my big mistake is okay. I decided to utilize this fence that I have going around my garden. It's a 7-foot fence. It is 5 foot with the 2x4 no climb horse fencing. This is 2 inches this way and 4 inches this way. And then there are gaps and there are barbed wire on the top of this. And that's to keep deer out. And I'm not a big barbed wire fan, but this is to keep the deer out. The fence is buried into the ground about 1 foot, and that is to keep the rabbits out. So what I did was around this perimeter, on this side I put my elderberry in, put rocks around it. I have put the cardboard down and have put mulch, wood chips on top of that. Then I had this area here, so I thought, okay, I'm going to go ahead and use this space here too. So this is where, if you remember, where I planted tomatoes. And here's the mistake that I made. When the tomatoes are growing, they're growing very close to this fence. And I'm using, this is the crochet cotton, the cotton crochet thread that I use for knitting my dishcloths that I'm tying them up with. And you can see that I have plants that are just loaded with tomatoes, and if you'll notice, the top of this tomato is missing. And here's what happened. This morning I was replanting the lima beans, which I think the ants got. And I heard a noise, the noise that a cow makes when they're kind of clearing their nose or whatever, or taking a sigh. And I turned around, and honeysuckle and thistle were over here by the fence. And I don't know if everybody knows this, but a cow has a very long tongue. Now, I was thinking at first, when I was seeing some nibbling on the plants, I was thinking that maybe Crystal, who has a very small snout, she's a goat, was sticking her snout through there and maybe nibbling, until I saw this. Thistle and honeysuckle were over here and stuck their tongue through the hole here. Their tongue is really long, and grabbed hold of this plant and pulled it through the hole right here and ate the top of it off. And they went to start getting some more of the other plants, and I was able to get some collard greens pulled and get them diverted and going to a different area. I threw the collard greens way over on the other side, and they love collard greens, and so they ran to eat the collard greens. So, this is what I have learned. Do not plant the tomatoes where the cow can get hold of them, because you can see this right here. This has been nipped right here. So they're sticking their tongue through here, and then they're pulling the plant through these holes, and then they're eating the tops of them off. And I don't know what I can do to keep them from doing that, but that was a big mistake. Maybe if I'd planted them more to this side instead of closer to the fence, I don't know. But you can see, they pulled a bunch of the tomatoes off. So I've got tomatoes laying on the ground with big munches taken out of them where they've gotten hold of them. So, mistake learned. I guess it's not a mistake if you learn something from it. My plants are just covered with tomatoes, and I cannot wait until I get the first one that I can do for a green tomato. I love fried green tomatoes. I mean, this one here is just